Well, what's going on, fellow zombies? Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? It's 9:34 in the West Coast time for Thursday, the 20th of March, 2025. The zombie Weaver John C. of Roseman, California. Anyway, okay. You ever heard of furries? There's a state out there trying to pass a state legislation. Some of one of the southern states that has to be a state with one star on its flag. It deems it necessary to punish children for acting as children, but also with something against something going on for a time where if one happens to wear a costume, we have to act like an animal all the time. And if the children, God forbid, if the children happen to wear this kind of situation here, they be considered outcasts of humanity. How dare they do that? And yeah, we got a state legislature in Texas trying to pass a damn law concerning about not to be a furry in any way, shape, or form. Case in point, there have been stories going around for a long time. I don't know how long, but long enough to where there be litter boxes for the children to use in case there's any shootouts. Now, we've been getting consistent with our shootouts these days. Gun laws haven't stopped it enough. No ammunition restrictions or restrictions of certain types of firearms, but the Second Amendment has never gone away. Curtailing weapons, yes. We have the right to bear arms. And they're talking about a well regulated militia. Back then, their militias were our version of military, apparently. And their version of guns was back then the muskets, till we got better and better with our artillery. To the point where anything could be used on the battleground. A lot of collectors, a lot of idiots want to use them and fire at people or anything else for that matter. We're a gun-toting, gun-happy country that likes to kill people for the fun of it, apparently. This is America for you. And we have never been able to live it down or be able to get rid of it. We blame everybody else coming over the borders with their violent tendencies, and yet we've got our own bloody history of our own citizens, one way or another, trying to kill each other. Well, we keep forgetting that one, don't we? So try this one. When you have schools being invaded by nut jobs, either by people just coming off the streets or actually the ones who already got a beef, mostly I think it's the beef, against certain targeted individuals, they're killing to blow off their own damn mental steam and causing so much hell and havoc and death and destruction they don't realize it or don't care to realize it. And usually they're our own homegrown people with a hell of a lot of mental problems, and there's no way in hell to detect it. Unless, of course, they had long-term therapy sessions that give them indications. Or they just might pop off, really pissed off, and decide to attack people for no reason at all. But this in itself is giving rise to the folklore or the bullshit that kids have to be furries because they are quote unquote seen by others using litter boxes in lockdown procedures. Well, I don't know what they're using it for, to tell you the truth. I've heard the stories. I haven't seen the actual news footages of witnesses attesting this on record. I heard from this person, heard from this person, and heard from that person. And for that, we got a law going through Texas at this point saying, you can't do that anymore. Not passing off the rumor. It's you can't be a furry. You can't act like an animal. You can't be like an animal. You're just a human being. And you can't pee in a litter box. So we say. It's just not right. It's also not right to make fun of them, but I'm making fun of them anyway. Yeah, I'm a typical libturd, libtard, wokeism asshole. And I'm from California. That's why I'm not going into Texas ever. Something might happen to me over there. They don't like people from California. Well, good. I don't like you Texans either. I had a brother who was Texan. I loved him to death. I took care of his ass. His part of his family still lives in Texas. I don't know if they still remember my brother. My brother had died a long time ago. But you think these people would keep track of me? Fuck no. So that's family for you. But if they're going to be in that kind of environment where anything and everything that hearsay becomes law, give me a break on that one. No wonder they're idiots. They happen to believe in that damn crap. If that's what they think, there's a lot of things I could say about it and against it. I can make mockery at this one. No, you guys get what you get. Stupid is as stupid does. That's what they kept quoting on the movies of Forrest Gump. I never did like that movie much. I saw it once. I like Tom Hanks. I didn't care for the movie. Anyone's going to be quoting that much from that kind of movie, yeah, no thanks. I'd rather be quoting it from Gandhi. But in this situation, no amount of fasting would be able to help that particular state or its people. Especially what's going on in the state in the first place. Especially when you're going to be putting up something about furries. People who have a fetish of wearing animal costumes go to a convention once a year. And they do the furry thing. Okay, what's wrong with that? But they're furries, they're not human. We have humans trying to kill each other. We have people dressed up in animals, costumes, because they enjoy it. Now, which would you prefer? Somebody with a gun show attitude of finding a gun, taking a gun, and start shooting people up for the fun of it? I'm still waiting for that crap to happen. Somebody's going to get a firearm out of a gun show and start shooting up people because they like the feel of a gun. Instead of going to a firing range and getting their kicks up the damn thing, no, let's really make it into a gun show by putting blood into it. I'm still expecting that to happen. Really give gun shows a good name. We're showing off the guns. We're showing off the artillery pieces. We're showing how they're demonstrated, and then we're showing the results of it. So we're going to be judging against kids for playing and pretending to be animals. And yet, for a long period of time, did we ever go against kids for playing war games or cowboys and Indians? Different times, different attitudes, different situations, scenarios. To a point where I think back in the 70s, through current, that when the toy makers were making all these plastic guns, people were using them, not just kids for war games, but adults using them for crimes. But did we ever get rid of the guns? No. But the manufacturers had to make them look like they're toy guns by putting colored ends, a nice brightly orange color or yellow color on the end, to show people that this was a toy and not a gun. We still have BB guns out there that look like replicas and get used all the time. Now we got people using 3D models of actual guns, making actual guns. Now we got that crap to deal with. And we have crimes being committed for that one. But do I see any legislation through the states or the feds? Nope. Because there hasn't been enough bloodshed on that one. Hasn't been enough outcry. No, we got to have an outcry in state Texas concerning about animal behavior that we have to curtail this kind of thing from kids. You cannot wear this and you cannot wear that and you cannot act in this kind of behavior. It is illegal, and if you do, we will punish you. You know, I had played superheroes when I was a kid. Pretended to be this hero and that hero. Slow as a bunch, and yet I thought I was the Flash. Couldn't run worth shit anyway. I wasn't powerful like Superman. I wish I was clever as Batman. But then again, it would take imagination to bring out the character. Or understand what Batman was in the 80s current. And how they would pretend it. No, they would, come on, chum, it's time to fight the guys. Biff, baff. That's the kind of Batman we watched back in the 1960s. Kids wear the plastic costumes of their superheroes. George Reeves, well, plays by Christopher Reeve. And how he showed how to play Superman. Michael Keane back in the 80s showed how to be Batman. But how do you portray this furry character? And having a see, I don't get it. I don't know if I've confirmed that one or not. I don't think I have. About classrooms having a litter box because they'll be stuck in there all day for a lockdown. And if they have to go, they gotta go. But they'll have to hold it in and dance like crazy until they run over to a bathroom and just start using the thing. But they would have the litter box just in case. If the stories are correct of having an emergency pee box with litter to take care of it, okay, fine. It's embarrassing as hell. Get yourself covered. And then, if you have to, you have to. But to act like an animal and just do it, I don't think the kids are that dumb. Yeah, they got imagination, but they probably have a little bit more common sense of not doing that kind of crap. And yes, the adults are making the damn assertions. Are they witnessing it? Did they actually put themselves on record? Did they actually say, I am a witness and I saw this kid in this classroom? How did you know this? Are you a teacher or a teacher's aide? Or are you the parent who just seen this actually happened here? See, I don't buy any of the bullshit. If there's no confirmations, nobody's standing up and nobody can confirm the stories, it's all bullshit. And yet Texas is doing this. Why is it affecting me a great deal? Because I think it's bullshit. It's something to focus on instead of focusing on the Trump shit happening all the fucking time and everybody else is going insane over the damn crap. That's why I keep saying this. All the major news talking about this stuff. And the independents have an issue regarding Elon, Trump, and everything else going on hell in a handbasket. So when I started coming across the independents talking about a furry problem, yeah, it's different a little bit. I mean, yeah, we did have the astronauts being rescued from the, well, shall I call it a failed mission of Boeing Starliner. But it was a test flight. This is what happens. Analyze the data, see the engineering, see what the hell happened. Can it be fixed? Can it not be fixed? Is it a recurring problem? Is it not a recurring problem? Meanwhile, you had a couple of astronauts taking about 9 months in space. And they still had an escape capsule, by the way. But, NASA decided they're going to keep them up there, and the astronauts decided they're going to stay up there. So it's a choice. Until you had a Muskeg. No, they were trapped out there because of politics, and because of this, and because of that. They had an escape capsule. And Musk, you could have rescued their ass, but you didn't. You didn't. So knock the bullshit out. God. There were choices, there were decisions made, there was opportunities. And if it is a grand experiment and experience, they're going to take it. And they're going to take a long while to recover from it. Keep this in mind. Every time we have astronauts going up and down, for short term, for long term, we're learning more and more data on how to deal with the environment of space. What you've got scientists around the world are studying the data. You've got doctors studying everything they can. I would imagine that the Senator Kelly, who've been up there, his back to twin brother, who also been up there in different missions, but they did their time in space, and they must have got the scientists and the doctors must have got a lot of information off of them. A lot of information about space travel. But we're talking about habitation in a space station floating around a low Earth orbit, easily to be rescued by a Falcon rocket with a booster and a capsule on the damn thing. Boeing could have done it, but Boeing is still doing damage control for its company and reevaluating Starliner. If they're going to cancel it, they're really going to cancel the damn shit. But if they're not, they're deep in studying in the records, and I'm not going to hold it against Boeing. The astronauts are still safe. The mission was a complete disaster. If the astronauts had been in a capsule, and the capsule did come down, okay, they would have been fine, weren't they? But they didn't want to take the chance. NASA wasn't going to risk any more lives. NASA already has enough blood on its hand anyway. Did anybody ever follow the space race? No? You guys are idiots, I swear to God. Yeah, I did. I said it. Nobody studies history anymore. Nobody wants to bother with history anymore. Why? Because you got the Trumplicants and the Muscovites trying to get rid of history left and right. Everything that we had made, achievements, despite the fact that they're a different skin color or not, or a different sex, or a different creed or religion, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if they're indigenous people. They're getting wiped out the records. Because it's DEI. It's divisiveness. It's equity. It's inclusion. Yeah. Diversity. Yeah. So made our country great is pluralism. But not anymore. And the American people voted this shit in. I'm not. I'm not forgetting that one. I'm not going to let them forget it. I'm going to let them. I'm going to keep telling it to them all the time. They wanted this. They allowed it. This is what happens, guys. What do you want us to do about it? You can't say that about us. Yes, I can. I just did. What are you going to do about it? That's all they can do. Whine. And that's all I keep hearing is people whining about this, whining about that. You can't say that. You can't say that. You can't. You can't. Speaking of that whining, here goes my dog. She must be obeyed. It's power higher than the Muscovites and the Trumplicants. Think about this one, boys and girls. I'm sorry, can you think?